have you become?
I am what you made me.
Not even the venerable James Earl Jones can save us from crappy dialogue. Howdy all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd. Welcome to my review of Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 3, where the jangly keys are in full effect. There is a term, all flash, no substance. Well, we need to amend that for this episode. A little bit of flash, absolutely no substance, because once again, this episode proves that those in charge at Disney Lucasfilm, those who have been placed at the helm of this TV show, have a fundamental misunderstanding, lack of clarity, lack of conceptualization of what is Star Wars. This episode is not only a continued assassination of the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but now they start to assassinate the character of Darth Vader. Because we have to remember that this brilliant director, Deborah Chow, who goes to the school of shaky cam, although not in this episode, but still very bad directing. We'll get into that later. She made the statement early on, the Vader we see here is not the fully formed Vader that we get in Star Wars A New Hope. If that's your excuse for bad dialogue, poor character representation, then you have no business even being in a director's chair, let alone show running this thing. All right, how are we going to do this today? We're going to go straight through it. I'm going to stop periodically to break down certain scenes because that's the only way you can handle this, because you got to be in the moment of when the bad is happening. This episode is chock full of lore breaking. It is chock full of unnecessary sitting and talking or walking and talking, because, hey, well, it wouldn't be a CW show without some of that. You have unnecessary dialogue that further monkeys with, as I said, the lore. We will also look at why the argument of Leia deserves her time to shine, her story needs flushing out, why that is a bullcrap argument, because this isn't doing anything for Leia. In fact, it's ruining Leia's character, what they're doing with little girl Leia here. Let's see, Reeva. Reeva is still here, behaving like Reeva in all her bad acting glory, and also doing things just to do things and magically figuring things out. We'll get into that when we get there. And of course, round one of the rematch. Yes, round one of the rematch happens here. Like I said, jangly keys in full effect, but it's so bad. It's so cringe. And as I said in the intro, even bringing back James Earl Jones to voice Darth Vader, the voice of Star Wars, bringing him back doesn't mean a damn thing if your dialogue is shit. And you can tell, even his delivery, it just doesn't feel right, because the man can only work with what's given to him. Anyway. Let's begin the pain.
Master. Are you there, Master?
The cringe is with this. Oh, most definitely the cringe is with this. It starts off very lame. The jangly keys are in full effect. And not even James Earl Jones saves this. And I was surprised it was him. At first, I thought it was like a voice modulator and a little special effects audio doohickeys to make someone sounds like Jimmy. But no, it's Jimmy Earl Jones voicing Darth Vader in this. And I love James Earl Jones. We all love him. He is the voice of Star Wars. But everybody can only work with the material given to them. And that's why I thought it wasn't him, because even though it sounded like him, the delivery to the dialogue I'm going to talk about in a moment, it's just not there. Not there at all. Anyway, we open with Nobi-Wan, and we're calling him Nobi-Wan, not Obi-Wan, because this is not Obi-Wan, so it's not Obi-Wan, Nobi-Wan. Nobi-Wan is sitting in the cargo ship with Leia, First, he's meditating. Hey, Obi-Wan, maybe you should have been doing your homework for the past 10 years. So maybe you could actually reach out to Qui-Gon in this manufactured moment of crisis that Disney has given us. And it's pathetic and sad because he's sitting there and with an expression like he's taking a dump. And he's remembering what Reeva taunted him with. And then we cut to Vader getting his armor put on. And this isn't Darth Vader. This is Disney Vader. So we're going to call him Disney Vader from now on. So Disney Vader is getting his armor put on. He's getting his limbs attached and his armor put on. And here comes the helmet down. You see Hayden Christensen. I still don't know if that's practical or digital effects. Either way, it doesn't look good. And there, oh look, here's Vader marching towards us. Congratulations. The dangly shiny keys are here. So we get a scene of Disney Vader talking to Reeva. And Reeva is busy telling her version of how things went down on 1980s Hong Kong planet, where Obi-Wan killed the Grand Inquisitor and got away, but she knows where he's going. She has an idea where the cargo ship is going, even though she could have probably stopped it herself from getting away. No. Reasons for the plot to move forward. And Vader congratulates her. He goes, "Oh, you're so good." And this is what I mean, this dialogue. The way they're talking, the way Disney Vader talks. You hear James Earl Jones.
I have been watching you, third sister. I know what it is you seek. Prove yourself, and the position of Grand Inquisitor is yours.
But you feel no presence because the dialogue is such shit. It's congratulations, you'll get what you want. Thank you, Lord Vader. I'm very happy from this. There's no presence. There's no emotion to this. It's not like, I am your father. Or, apology accepted, Captain Nita. You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. I mean, there's no emotion. There's no presence. It's just James Earl Jones reading the lines with his Darth Vader voice. Nothing to it. Which is why we call him Disney Vader, because it's not Darth Vader. Anyway, he then gets up and looks out on Mustafar. Yay. Ooh, look, it's Vader's Mustafar castle. Ooh, Vader's palace. Ooh.
The Force. What does it feel like?
Have you ever been afraid of the dark? How does it feel when you turn on the light?
I feel safe.
Yes, it feels like that.
Many have pointed out in other reviews and takes how this Obi-Wan Kenobi show blatantly rips off scenes from previous Star Wars content, or actual Star Wars content, we'll call it. This is that all over again, and it's also the twist that I've been talking about, where Disney Star Wars wants to really put Leia out there, that she is more important than Luke. And I hear the stands coming at me now. Luke had his story. It's Leia's time to get her moment in the spotlight so she can have her story fleshed out. Leia's got plenty of stories. 28 years worth. Go F yourselves. But this is another move to show that how sensitive Leia is, what a good student Leia is, how she would have been a better candidate for the Force than Luke to be the new hero, the new Jedi, to bring back the old, to take out the Empire. That's how they want to portray this. That's what this whole scene is, where they're sitting and talking about the Force in a very lame, boring way. It's sitting and talking. It's CW show, folks. Anyway, they go through this conversation, and sad Obi-Wan teaches Leia about the Force. You see, Leia should have been the one. It should have been her. Anywho, after he fixes Lola and makes her all happy, they arrive at planet's name, who I don't know and I don't care about. Random mining planet that they created out of nowhere. They arrive, and they proceed to walk off into the wasteland to meet up. And Obi-Wan is, of course, feeling dejected, feeling sad, and he's even having delusions. He's he's seeing Anakin as he used to be. And there's Hayden Christensen, and I'm assuming also that it's Hayden Christensen in the Darth Vader armor. Nobody's told me otherwise, so I'm going to assume it's him. And they continue to walk and talk off into the nowhere because they're nearby their destination. Anyway, we cut to...
He asked me to lead the hunt. Unless you feel I should follow your orders instead. Send out the probes. Do it now.
Oh, it's Reeva time! Yes, Moses Ingram returns with her deadpan acting, and she's as bad as she was in the first 2 episodes. All she can do is yell and order and talk in a monotone and have 0 range and 0 emotion. Because she's a bad actress, plain and simple. Nothing else to it. Can't act. Anywho, so Reeva arrives at Inquisitor headquarters on some planet, who cares? And you see a long march through the base, and I'm going to come back to that and why that's important based upon my intuition from watching the trailer, not the leaks, but the trailer. Why that's important, I'm going to come back to that at the end of the episode. They want you to see how fortified it is with stormtroopers and officers and TIE fighters and how big it is. They want you to understand how fortified it is. Anyway, Reeva goes down to talk to the other Inquisitors, and they have a little pissing contest about who's in charge. And then Reeva takes control because I spoke to Lord Vader, and I'm in charge. You do what I say. And then she orders probes launched. And you get a stupid little scene of a bunch of Imperial probes being launched. And remember I say, if you can't get the little things right, then why bother? One thing Disney Star Wars continues to fail at is the understanding of how long it takes to get from one place to another. They don't tell us exactly where this mining system is that Nobi-Wan and Leia have gone to, but Reeva has figured it out, or she knows the direction, and they're to send out probes. You see, they send out the probes. These are probes just in what look like little shuttle engines. Sublight engines. No hyperdrive built into that as far as we can see. We don't even see them go off into hyperspace. They just kind of go in directions, not entering hyperspace. How did they get to that planet then without delivery system? Because remember in Empire Strikes Back in the opening scene, the Star Destroyer launches the probes. No, they just launch the probes from this planet, wherever the F it is, and expect the probes to then go on their course without going in hyperspace. Let alone, they have no understanding of how quickly things happen when it comes to hyperspace. It takes a little bit of time, not a lot of time in the Star Wars universe, but a little bit of time for travel to happen along hyperspace lanes. Apparently, Obi-Wan and Leia have only been on this planet for an hour or 2, but the probes are going to get there pretty quickly. And then everybody else is going to get there pretty quickly from different points of origin. Remember, Vader's on Mustafar. The Inquisitors are on this planet. We don't know what it is. They're all going to get there pretty damn quickly. And within an evening. Not even a day. Within an evening. Doesn't even take a day. No concept of time. No concept of the physics of how any of this works. You can't just have a probe in a sublight engine-driven vehicle flying off a direction. At least show them going into hyperspace. No, we're Disney Star Wars. We're just going to do things and expect you to fill it in your head, because why should we bother with the details? We arrive back on mining planet, whose name I don't give an F about. Obi-Wan and Leia have reached the destination of the coordinates for the meetup, but nobody's there. So Obi-Wan starts to have a little bit of a meltdown. Oh no, nobody's here. What do we do? Blah, 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 blah. And then Leia takes control, because it's important for the 10-year-old girl to be telling the adult what to do.
Well, if we're on our own, we're gonna need some help.
What are you doing?
Maybe they can give us a ride to the spaceport.
But it's not safe.
He seems friendly.
First of all, how does she know it's a he? Because Leia's already force sensitive, guys. She can sense it's a he. At least that's what I think Disney Star Wars is doing. Anyway, Obi-Wan had a little meltdown, but Leia took control, saying, "We need help. Here comes help. Danger be damned." Now, Obi-Wan, we give Obi-Wan a little bit of credit. His instincts are correct. Trust nobody. Trust nobody. You're on the run. The Inquisitors likely know what direction you went in. And now he's all afraid that Disney Vader's on the way. So we give Obi-Wan credit. His instincts are right. But nope, the little girl is going to take control. Little girl's going to take control and lead the way. And they have a little conversation about, here's what you're going to say. Leia, don't speak. I'm going to speak. But what happens as soon as they reach there, as soon as this mole alien dude comes up, who, again, really? Where's a familiar Star Wars alien? Huh? Nope, we're Disney Star Wars. We're just going to put shit out there because we don't want to pay royalties to anybody that probably made good Star Wars aliens ahead of us. Forget familiarity. No, you don't need that. You don't need that kind of member berries. You only need member berries when we tell you you need member berries, so that you know we're connecting it to things, trying to legitimize what we're doing. But as far as looking like Star Wars, forget that. No, forget it. You don't need to know that. You don't need that at all. Therefore, Leia takes control of the situation and gives their immediate backstory to Mole Man. And Mole Man's, "Oh, hey, nice to see you guys. Come on in." He speaks basic. Let's not even take the time to make it interesting and have him speak alien gibberish. He's just going to speak basic. And Leia's like, "Gee, thanks, get it in." And Obi-Wan's going, "Okay, all right, fine." Then as soon as Obi-Wan goes around back, it's got a little Imperial flag on the back. And we quickly learn that Mole Man is an Imperial sympathizer. An alien, a non-human Imperial sympathizer. Because that's how it worked? No, that's not how it worked. Sorry. Once again, you failed at lore. The Empire is pretty bigoted. Actual bigotedness towards non-human races. They see them all as lower life forms. Because that was Palpatine's vision. That's space Yahtzees. They are space Yahtzees. Everything below them is lower life form. Everything. Anyway, so Mole Man's busy talking up how great the Empire is, and Leia continues to blab like a moron. We love the Empire. The Empire's great. Yeah, I love a little law and order. It's awesome. We can take a little bit of that. It's fine. Having our freedom smashed. Whatever. Obi-Wan's trying to tell her to be quiet, but no, they keep yammering. And then, of course, let's add fake tension once again to the two characters who are they are layered triple thick in plot armor. Obi-Wan and Leia have plot armor, the likes of which we cannot possibly comprehend. Nothing's ever going to happen to them. It's all... This entire episode is manufactured tension, and it only gets worse. So the Mole Man pulls over because he sees a bunch of stormtroopers on patrol who need a ride back. The stormtroopers get on, and they start questioning Obi-Wan and Leia, and they start piddling their bad backstory. And at one point, when this happens, it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Are you sure he's even on this planet?
They know what they're doing, Leia.
It's just...
You called her Leia.
just that
I thought her name was Luma.
That's right, folks. The 10-year-old girl can keep the backstory straight, but the veteran Jedi Master, who is pretty we've seen in previous content from actual Star Wars that Obi-Wan's pretty good at subterfuge. No. He can't keep it straight. So he's just going to call her Leia and screw it all up and have a moment of, uh-oh. Yeah, they talked their way out of it very stupidly with now an actual member berries moment. Oh, look, he's thinking about Padme again when he's talking about a dead mother and how it's still so soon, it hurts. But the whole situation here is just ludicrous. Again, the little girl is the adult, and the adult is the moron. The child knows better than the adult. The child can handle a stressful situation better than the veteran warrior Jedi adult. The assassination of Obi-Wan, my friends. the assassination of Obi-Wan. They are just tearing him down, making him look stupid and stupid and stupid to the point of where he's almost cowardly as we do this. Maybe not cowardly, but fumbling. I mean, cowardly is the one word. I take that back. He's not cowardly. He's fumbling. He's goofy. He's doofus. That's why I call him Nobi-Wan. He doesn't act like Obi-Wan Kenobi or even old Ben. He's Nobi-Wan. So they defuse the situation. The stormtroopers disembark, and Mole Man takes them to a checkpoint. And this is a great little scene here. Again, manufactured tension. These characters have the thickest plot armor in the galaxy. Nothing could possibly happen to them, but let's have everything go wrong at the checkpoint. Because Mole Man immediately says, I picked up these strays. I thought you might want to look at them. So, oh, look, Nobi-Wan was actually right. Trust nobody, because Mole Man just turned your asses in. Stormtroopers make them get out. Nobi-Wan tries to hide it. He has his blaster ready. Again, Nobi-Wan can't use the Force anymore. Not really. Not at all. He doesn't even use the Force in all this episode. And that'll become really stupidly a factor in the climax of the episode. But here comes an Imperial probe droid that was sent by the Inquisitors. Yes, it got there lickety-split, guys. Wow, did it get there fast in just an hour or two without using hyperspace, at least not to our knowledge it using hyperspace. No, just assume things because the plot needs things to happen. Script says it, probe has to be there, so probe just arrived. Forget time, forget everything. So the probe reveals it to be Obi-Wan in a second because he can't hide underneath the hood, and then Nobi-Wan blasts a couple troopers and this and that, little playing off the cliche that stormtroopers can't hit anything until, oh look, stormtrooper has Leia hostage. Oh no, is Leia gonna get hurt? No, because she's Princess Goddamn Leia. Nobi-Wan gets the shot off. No, let's not have him maybe use the Force to flick the blaster out of his hand, but because no, he's Force impotent. He can't use the Force, so he has to shoot it. And then they try to run away. Now notice this. Here's an aerial shot of the checkpoint. Notice to the right where they could just walk around it. But no, let's take time to shoot it so the energy bar goes down when you could have walked around it. Disney Star Wars, guys! Don't pay attention to the details. Just consume. Don't pay attention to logic. And we get even worse logic in the final moments of the episode. It gets so much worse. Anywho. So in their time they take to shoot their way through the checkpoint instead of just walking around it, Nobi-Wan and Leia get busted by more stormtroopers who arrive with what appears to be an Imperial Whammon officer. Now, I was wrong in all this. In the trailers and everything like that, I was ready to lay it on thick of here comes an Imperial officer Whammon to girl boss everybody around. No. Turns out very quickly that this is an Imperial officer who's actually a spy for whatever's going on. And it's not the rebellion yet. The Alliance hasn't formed yet. So she's part of an underground railroad, I guess the way you want to describe it. And she's the contact they were waiting for. But because things were on alert, she didn't make it there in time. So here she is now. She kills the stormtroopers, saves Nobi-Wan and Leia. Again, impotent Nobi-Wan, who, if he even had a little bit of the Force, could have lightsabered his way out of this. Because at this point, you're busted. You're busted. They know who you are. Why are you not whipping out the lightsabers, deflect blaster bolts, flick away blasters, and take out stormtroopers? No. It has to be Force impotent Obi-Wan so that Whammons can save him. Because that's the theme of the rest of the episode. Whammons saving Nobi-Wan. Anywho, the Whammon spy saves them, takes them back, and they go back to the settlement that they're at. I don't know. They go back to the settlement where she basically says, wait right here. I'm going to go check out my little hidey hole. And then we have a little conversation between Nobi-Wan and Leia, where for the first time, Leia behaves like a little girl should, where she's upset and scared about everything that's happened. I shouldn't have gone wandering into the forest. It's all my fault. Yeah, it kind of is all your fault. And it's also the story's fault for letting a little girl easily slip out of a palace full of high security whenever she wants. Disney Star Wars, folks. Obi-Wan assures her it's okay, it's all right, don't worry, you're strong. The affirmation has to happen because it's Disney Star Wars and it's a SJW woke agenda. We got to affirm girls, even women, even when they f up. Anyway, Obi-Wan and Leia are ushered into the safe house where we get a nice little weird scene of, again, affirmation. You get a moment where Leia is being nice to another droid. Yeah, consistency, hooray. And they get ushered back into a safe house where apparently other Jedi have come through and other people who are running from Imperial persecution. As Imperial Whammon's woman, or Imperial Spy Wham, let's call Spy Whammon. I don't remember her name. Her name doesn't matter. Don't care. Spy Whammon basically says how she was taken in by the Empire at first and thought it was good and then became bad and then knew she had to do something to make up for it. Meanwhile, let's see what happens here. Obi-Wan. It's hard to keep it all straight in my head, guys. Give me some slack. Obi-Wan looks around and starts looking at all the scribbles on the walls and finds a little bit of strength from seeing it. Now, remember, when they arrived here at the thing, it's been, 10 minutes? It was still daylight when they arrived. Yeah, it was still daylight when they arrived. And now it's nighttime all of a sudden. They've been there for maybe 10 minutes, and suddenly it's pitch black night. Because as they're getting ready to go down the escape tunnel, Obi-Wan, oh no, because here comes... Disney Vader has arrived. Disney Vader and his Inquisitors and a bunch of stormtroopers are now here to ransack the town looking for Obi-Wan. Of course, no Imperial March. It's just more cheesy, bad Disney Star Wars music. Now, I mentioned earlier the assassination of Darth Vader is also a part of this, which is why we have Disney Vader. As he marches down the street and Obi-Wan is having a panic attack, Obi-Wan's having a panic attack, Disney Vader proceeds to just randomly hurt people. Because he's evil. This doesn't make any sense. If you go by the logic of, you have to hurt people to make a Jedi come out. If I start hurting people, Obi-Wan's going to come out. Why not have a speech here? I'm sorry, because the writers can't write. This would have been a moment to have a James Earl Jones Darth Vader monologue. A good 2-3 minutes of actual Darth Vader speech taunting Obi-Wan Kenobi in hiding there. I can sense you, Obi-Wan. Your fear is all around me. Something like that, something along the lines of that. To have Vader actually be the one doing it, it might have meant something. I can sense you. Come out, Obi-Wan, unless you want these people to suffer. Something like that. No, it's just Vader walking around, force lifting people, force choking people, force snapping necks, just being evil for evil's sake. Like I said at the beginning of the video, very little flash, no substance. This is a sham. There's nothing menacing about it. So he's flexing his evil force powers. He's flexing. Big deal. There's no panache. There's no pizzazz. There's no substance. There's no passion. Nothing. So while Vader is busy displaying evil, Obi-Wan sends Spy Whammon and Leia into the tunnel, say, go, go, go. I will distract him and keep him busy. And Obi-Wan makes a break for it, and Vader senses him around there, and then he goes off while the Inquisitors are ordered to ransack the town. Now, here's where, again, the brilliance of Deborah Chow's directing comes into play. These sloppy cuts, going away from things that might actually be interesting to things that really, really suck. So what happens? While little girl Leia and Spy Whammon are running down the tunnel, Obi-Wan heads off into some refinery area. I don't know. And Vader tracks him there. And so begins, this isn't the rematch. This is the rematch round 1 that they all want us. This whole series exists for these moments right here. That's why this all exists, to get the rematch for the flash, look, it's Vader and Obi-Wan. It's the rematch. You see Vader appears, ignites his lightsaber, and Obi-Wan, he's afraid. Doesn't even light his own lightsaber, kind of jitters about, goofiness, and doofusly runs away, and Vader chases after him. Now we cut back. Again, brilliant. Let's just cut away from the thing that might actually be interesting, if done correctly, to, of course, Reeva. Remember what I said earlier, that Reeva is just going to do things without any sort of real motivation or explanation? Reeva somehow intuits, just by looking around after watching the worker droid that Leia made friends with walk out of the safe house, that's enough for her to go look in there. That's enough. Because she's Reeva. She's smarter than everybody else. No reason, no clue, no why. No why. Just goes in there and proceeds to wreck the place until she finds the switch that leads to the hidey hole. Now, back to the faux fight. Now, there is a lot to unpack in this scene. There's a lot. And this is what got us all in a tizzy when this show was first announced. This mere encounter is what got all of us angry in the first place, because you're breaking the lore. Obi-Wan and Vader do not meet again until Death Star 1. That is fact. The Disney Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm don't care about the facts. They care about manipulating things for their own agenda and narratives. Let's look at the real rematch for just a second, shall we?
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Darth.
I was but the learner, now I am the master. Does this look like he's still a learner to you? No, this is Darth Vader. He's a Darth. He is a Dark Lord of the Sith. This is not right. In this one moment, if you put it up against the actual, I'm not even getting into EU territory or anything, the actual original first movie canon lore. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. He's not a learner here. He is not a Padawan learner. This is a Dark Lord of the Sith. Plain and simple. That actual canon line completely eviscerates this moment. And then Adam, George Lucas, he made all kinds of changes to prequels. It made a lot of lines in the original trilogy kind of rough. Yeah, and we gave him shit over it for 10 years, between 2000 and 2010, right up until just about when he sold it. And we dogged George over it. So I'm sorry, that counter doesn't hold any water. We were as bitchy at George as we are being bitchy about this now. This is wrong. This breaks canon. Okay? They should not have met until Death Star 1. That's how stupid this is. That's just the lore-breaking aspect of it. Now let's look at this actual fight. First of all, the fact that it's suddenly nighttime. Remember, It was daytime when they went in there. They were only in there a few minutes by the look of when Leia interacts with the droid. Spy Whammon takes him into the back while she changes her clothes and her look, and they talk a little bit. It's a few minutes, 10 minutes at best. And then suddenly it's nighttime, which makes this whole scene very difficult to look at because it's very dark out there. Very dark. So, first of all, the lighting is terrible. You can't really see Vader at all very well. At least not the version I watched. Secondly, choreography is so important in a lightsaber duel. As we learned from the sequel trilogies, Disney Lucasfilm doesn't really understand lightsaber choreography. Many a time, as many have pointed out, they swing their sabers merely to make contact, not in any sort of actual fencing or fighting aspect. And as you saw in the clip there that I showed you a moment ago, that's a lot of what's going on. They're just swinging the sabers to make contact like two children would when they're pretending to lightsaber duel, because they just want to make the contact and have the faux thing. Not once is any real killing attempt made. Okay, so the visual aspect of this fight is ridiculous and sad and stupid. Very fake looking, completely immersion breaking. You don't feel anything. And also, again, plot armor. You know Disney Vader is not going to kill Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's not going to do anything to Disney Vader because plot armor. Plot armor. It's another 8-9 years before Obi-Wan becomes actual old Ben and Obi-Wan Kenobi again and dies on Death Star 1. Nothing's going to happen. So this is pointless. Manufactured tension. This is all for the ooh and the ah. Look at the jangly keys. Look at the shinies. Look, they're swinging lightsabers about because we're Disney Star Wars. We're Disney Lucasfilm. All we think Star Wars is swinging lightsabers and Darth Vader breathing through a respirator. And now let's look at the aspect of this whole kind of fight in general. Lore dictates, actual Star Wars lore dictates that when you're lightsaber dueling, it's not just swinging the laser sword around, guys. The Force has to guide you a little bit. The Force guides your movements. Yes, there are lightsaber forms, and there is a martial aspect to it, but there's a Force aspect to it as well, which means anybody swinging a lightsaber that doesn't have the Force guiding them against a Force user who is also using a lightsaber, you are going to die because the Force user, through their own martial training using a lightsaber and then guided by the Force, will take you apart literally within seconds. This fight should have been over in the first swing because Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm have established that Obi-Wan is Force impotent. He cannot get it up. So to go toe-to-toe with a very dark side charged Disney Vader, who is brimming with anger, who is very big and fueled, who hasn't stopped practicing his martial techniques for a decade as he hunted Jedi, who is at the top of his game right now. Obi-Wan should have been dead in 2 seconds, but for plot armor. There's no way he should be able to counter anything Vader's doing because that edge of the Force guiding a lightsaber a little bit, it would have overtaken whatever remaining martial prowess Obi-Wan might have been able to summon up. Again, these people don't understand how anything in Star Wars works because that's how a lightsaber duel works. It's one half martial prowess and form technique, one half Force. That's how it works. They don't care. But that's not the ultimate insult to all of this. Anyway, the duel commences, and there's very little bit of taunting, very bad dialogue. I already showed you some of it. And brilliant Deborah Chow cuts away from it again. Don't give us a sustained duel. No, don't give us the actual thing that all the normies in the stands have been suckered into seeing. No, let's cut away to Reeva in the hidey hole. First, Reeva in the hidey hole, looking at all the drawings. She comes upon the old symbol of the Jedi Order from the Old Republic. And she gets all angry because it makes her angry because that's what her life should have been. And maybe now it's the turning that she's going to begin to turn. Who knows? But there you go. That's what that is. And she's upset when she sees it. And then we brilliantly cut to Spy Whammon and little girl Leia running through the tunnel. And little girl Leia stops running and says, "You need to go back and help him. He needs you. Go. I'll be okay. I can go the rest of the way myself." Once again, the adults failed to make the right decision. Because this Spy Whammon listens to little girl Leia and goes off to help Obi-Wan, letting the tiny little girl boss Whammon go off on her own. Little children can tell adults what to do in Disney Star Wars. I guess that's how it is, huh? Great storytelling. And maybe also because Leia sensed it in the Force that Obi-Wan was in trouble. At least I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way they go. Now, we cut back to the fight. Vader is dominating Obi-Wan, just completely dominating him, and finally gets him in a force lift and a half force lift, half force choke, and Obi-Wan drops his lightsaber, and Vader, with very bad dialogue, taunts him, "The pain has only just begun, Obi-Wan. I'm going to make you suffer." And Vader puts some mining material on the ground, lights it on fire, and proceeds to drag Obi-Wan through it, burning part of his arm. "Oh, isn't that symmetry? Now Obi-Wan is burned just like Anakin got burned. Oh, we're so smart. We're great writers." So, bunch of stormtroopers arrive, and then note this part. Disney Vader snuffs out the flames with the Force as he pushes Obi-Wan across the ground with the intention now to capture and bring him back to either Mustafar or Inquisitor headquarters, who knows. But then here comes Spy Whammon from the high ground. She kills the stormtrooper that's about to grab Obi-Wan, and then she shoots a piece of machinery that then sets everything on fire again. Now, this is, I'll call him for a second. I'll say Darth Vader for a second. It's supposed to be Darth Vader, but it's in fact Disney Vader. But if this was actual Darth Vader, yes, there's a nice big thick wall of flame that's maybe looks to be about 6.5 feet tall, because Vader is 6'5", and the flames are reaching the top of his helmet. So 6.5 feet, just about 6.5 feet in there, while Spy Whammon managed to then pull Obi-Wan to safety. Just a moment ago, didn't Vader snuff out flames using the Force? Yet now he can't seem to do that in order to stop Spy Whammon from rescuing Obi-Wan? All right, forget that. Why not then maybe just Force leap over the flames? Because you're supposed to be Darth Vader. You could Force leap over the flames. I know. And also, again, Darth Vader. You don't need to see them to grab them with the Force. You could grab them with the Force through the flames and lift them up and put them down where you can get them. But we're Disney Star Wars, guys. We don't play by the logical rules of Star Wars set down by George Lucas and many others in the expanded universe and beyond. We're Disney Star Wars. We're writers who are stupid and do not understand the logic of the situation and the powers at play. Oh, Serenity now. Oh my goodness. This is how stupid this is. Stans, defend that. Please, after that breakdown, I beg you to defend that moment. How he just lets them get away. I just laid out 3 legitimate ways Darth Vader could have stopped Obi-Wan and Spy Whammon from escaping. Chief among them, something he just displayed 30 seconds before by snuffing out flames with the Force. I love it. Anyway, okay, so meanwhile, Reeva went down the tunnels and managed to somehow find her way to the exit before little girl Leia. I guess there are multiple paths. I don't know. And Reeva's there. She's killed the contact who was supposed to pick up Leia, and now Final moment, Reeva has kidnapped little girl Leia and is probably going to take her to Inquisitor base. Episode.
Put your head down.
That's right. Women Stormtrooper. I know. Because you gotta have diversity and inclusion in Stormtroopers too. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. What woman would want to be a Stormtrooper? I mean, seriously, what girl has the power fantasy? If this is who they're trying to appease. Oh, look, you could be a Stormtrooper too. Yes, you can be a space Yahtzee. You could be a space fascist and who hurts people on the orders of bigger fascists. You could be that too, little girls. Don't you want to be a Stormtrooper? No little girl wants to be a Stormtrooper. It's just stupid. But there it is. This is Disney Star Wars. This whole show is a mess. This entire show is a mess. The deconstruction and assassination of Obi-Wan Kenobi continues. You saw, I've laid it out for you as we went through this. He is a fumbling, useless white man who needs a little girl, a little 10-year-old girl to make his decisions for him. And the one time he does make a decision, he does it through mostly goofy fear, goofy, wibbly, wobbly, unsure of himself fear. Because it's fear. And yes, but that's good storytelling, Adam. You could see how afraid Obi-Wan is of Vader, and he's going to have to conquer his fear to face him. No. That's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's Nobi-Wan. Nobi-Wan, who is force impotent, who shouldn't be able to even stand 2 seconds against Vader. Oh, but Vader wanted him to live. That's why he was able to fight him for so long. Vader could have cut both his arms off, and he still would have been fine in the opening seconds of that fake duel. The assassination of Darth Vader. You had the opportunity when he was marching through town to create a new Vader monologue, to stand up there with other Vader quotes that are famous throughout science fiction pop culture history. But no. You just have him march through a town doing evil things to look evil. And when he does speak again, you're wasting James Earl Jones. The man is 93, 91, he's in his early 90s. You're wasting James Earl Jones with this shit dialogue. I'm going to make you suffer. You made me this. Oh my God, it's so cringe. It's terrible. And it's a waste of James Earl Jones. And it's sad that this is what they think Darth Vader is. Because then they show him doing things and then not doing them. I laid it off for you with the fire. Why didn't he just snuff the fresh fire out and lift up Obi-Wan? Lift them up, leap over the flames, do things that a Force user can do. Nope, we're stupid. And we need Obi-Wan to escape plot armor. He has to escape. He has to survive. He can't be captured and killed. No. He has to be saved by whammons, and Vader has to be undone by a whammon right there. And look stupid. That's Vader looking stupid. That's making Darth Vader look stupid and ineffectual. The assassination of Princess Leia. That's what this is also. This is turning Princess Leia Organa Solo, into a girl boss in training who is already force sensitive. Clearly, she has abilities already. She knows that Obi-Wan needs help. She can sense when people are thinking things. She's so insightful, far more developed than Luke. She should have been the chosen one, because that's the narrative they're trying to paint. That's the picture they want to show you. Look how great Leia is. But Leia needs her time in the sun. Don't give me that bullshit. That's your downloaded talking points. You have no other part of that debate than that. That's all you've been told to say, Stans and SJWs. It's Leia's turn. Luke had his turn. Now Leia needs flushing out. She needs more screen time to show her adventures. 28 years. 28 years of Leia adventures, which are far more legitimate than anything Disney Star Wars has done, because George was involved. You cannot come to me, Disney's writing their books are the legitimate ones. No, they are the illegitimate fan fiction, because George was involved with the expanded universe. Plain and simple. legitimate. Disney Star Wars, illegitimate. So they're ruining it. I mean, I'm not going to go heavy into the whole part of the episode where Leia was questioning her parentage, asking Obi-Wan, "Are you my daddy? Did you know my mom?" Breaking the lore, plain and simple, without going on another 20 minutes about it, breaking the lore. Because yes, in Return of the Jedi, Luke says, "Do you remember your mother, your real mother?" And at that point, Leia says, "Yeah, I do, sort of." Of course, again, George mustered that, and we gave him shit over it. But yes, at one point, Leia did figure out that the Organas were not her biological parents, but I don't think she did it at 10. Within the next 8 years, yeah, definitely, because she was an 18-year-old senator in the Imperial Senate. But probably around that time, closer to being an adult, that she probably forgot out. Not at 10 years old. Because her force sensitivity did not mature until Return of the Jedi, where she's in her mid-20s. This whole thing is a joke. It fails over and over again. They can't even put music. Can't even put the right music in there. You think you could have put in a remix of Battle of Heroes, where Vader and Obi-Wan are dueling there. No. Imperial March is so great at certain points. Again, Leia's theme perfectly introduced certain points. Little actual Star Wars theme around Obi-Wan. Little actual Star Wars music. But no, we can't do it. We're just going to keep inserting bad Disney Star Wars tracks and score. And, you know, and this is just to piss off you stands if you're still here. Moses Ingram continues to suck as an actress. Reeva continues to be nothing. To simply be there. And to do things that only she apparently can figure out with no actual knowledge or motivation or clues to push her actions forward. She just does it. She does it. With all the power and projection of a three-toed sloth hanging on a tree. Yeah, she's got no presence. Got no gravitas. Just likes to shout or talk softly. Like she's walked off the street here in the 21st century. Reeva sucks. Moses Ingram isn't a good actress. Plain and simple. And go cry in a corner, stands. Other than that, what else can I say? We got 3 more weeks of this garbage. I'll be here. Hope you decide to continue to join me. I'm losing it. I've been at this for a long time today now doing this. Gotta stop. All right, we're done here. Thank you for watching the review. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, share the video, comment away, and by all means, if you are new here, I invite you to subscribe, hang out some more. We have fun here. I'll see you guys next week with episode 4. May the force be with you until then, and I hope it's with me. I need all the bolstering I can get. Take it easy, everybody. See you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therennerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.